On the 7th of March 1921, what has been called the first ever anti-fascist rebellion took place. It happened even before the fascists took power in Italy. It occurred as a result of a miners' strike. This is the story. At the end of World War I, Italy gained territory from Austro-Hungary, including parts of Istria and Dalmatia, which had a mixed population of Croats, Slovenes, Italians and others. In Italy, there was widespread dissatisfaction as a result of the war, either due to nationalist reasons of not gaining as much territory as had been promised in the Treaty of London, or due to the economy, which was in tatters because of the enormous financial drain of the conflict. This in turn led to communist and fascist gangs fighting in the streets, and the breakdown of such law and order had existed. The coal mines in southern Istria in the town of Labin had been exploited since the 16th century. They were a centre of labour unrest, various strikes having occurred there, above all in the first decade of the 20th century. Following the Italian takeover of the region, Italian workers came in, and many of them were labour activists, especially those that came from the Belluno area and those that came from the south of the country. In November 1919, the director of Trifailer, Julije Belak, was forced to sign a co-production contract with a group of Italian business people headed by Guido Segre, which became the Società Anonima Carbonifera Arsa. Guido Segre has quite an interesting story himself. A highly decorated war hero, he was a fascist politician and Jewish, and I'll tell you more about him in another video. In 1920, Italian owners got the majority of the shares, leaving the Viennese group, who had previously owned the mines, with 40%. The control was acquired cheaply by the Agnelli family, who soon disposed of it, considering that the investment would be unprofitable given the conditions of the post-war market, the poor quality of the product and the high extraction costs. Various Trieste banks and shipping companies acquired the stock. Despite the opinion of the Agnelli family, Italy had a strong need for coal, and production again exceeded 100,000 tons per year. However, this came at the cost of the dismissal of some miners and worsened working conditions, in particular towards the non-Italian employees. After an 18-day strike in the summer of 1920, the miners obtained a 10% pay increase and elected the socialist, Giovanni Pippan, to lead the union. From this period, it became highly radicalized, which led to the 1921 strike. In February 1921, the mine owners did not pay a bonus, as the miners had taken a day's holiday to observe Candlemas on the 2nd of February, although the management had abolished it as a holiday. For the miners, Candlemas was, next to the feast of Santa Barbara, the most important day because the 2nd of February symbolized light. The Union headquarters was attacked by fascists who attempted to burn it down and beat up members of the staff. It was widely believed that the mine owners were behind this. On the 1st of March 1921, Giovanni Pippan was assaulted by a group of fascist thugs at the railway station in Pazzin. The news reached Labin the following day, and on the 3rd of March 1921 the miners assembled and decided to occupy the mine works in response. Initially they attempted to negotiate, but management dragged its heels. On the 7th of March 1921 the miners proclaimed themselves as the independent Labin Republic in the occupied mines with the slogan "Kova je nasza," the mine is ours. The idea of a Labin Republic was not new. A Labin Republic had existed in Roman times, when it was called Albona. When a group of peasants from the surrounding countryside joined them, a Red Guard was organized as a security force tasked with maintaining order. In this photograph, we can see that some of the miners are carrying rifles. The miners attempted to organize production and appointed mining technician Dagobert Marzig as the manager. At the same time, fearing a counter-strike in favor of the owners, they arrested and detained 13 Sicilian miners. On the 8th of April 1921, the Italian authorities took action. A force of around 1,000 men from the police and military was launched from the sea and the land. The miners withdrew to Sternazzo, today Stimac, where they offered armed resistance. Miners Maximilian Ortar and Adalbert Sicora were killed. But poorly armed and inexperienced, they soon had to give up. Pippan ordered a ceasefire and took full responsibility upon himself. The arrested miners were sent to prisons in Pola and Rovigno. 52 miners were charged with occupying mines, establishing a Soviet regime, opposing authorities, taking materials from the warehouses, holding explosives, and a number of other illegal activities. The trial was held in Pula from the 16th of November to the 3rd of December 1921. They were represented by the lawyers Edmondo Purcher, Guido Segre, and Egidio Celentino, who successfully defended the accused. All were acquitted. To say it was a republic is perhaps going too far. One can call anything anything at the end of the day. I think it was more an attempt by miners to take over the mine and then to organise production in it. It took the Italian authorities 1 month to take it seriously, which suggests that the mine owners must have made a great deal of effort to get a response. I think it was more of a symbol, and the idea of an anti-fascist revolt before fascism may seem attractive to some. As a direct result of the strike, the Italian owners were able to get complete control of the company. The mines were nationalised by Mussolini's regime in 1935. In 1939, they produced over 1 million tons and reached a peak in the Italian administration of 1,115,000 tons in 1942, the year before Mussolini's collapse and the effective end of Italian control over the region. The area of Labin was transferred to Yugoslavia after the Second World War, and the Italian population was largely deported. The last mine in Labin was closed in 1989.